A 20% U.S. tariff is set to kick in on Philippine exports this August 1st. And for many, it feels like a big swing at a small target. We make up just 2/10 of U.S. imports, yet we're taking a full force hit. Joining us live now is Sergio Ortiz-Luis Jr, president of the Employers Confederation of the Philippines and PHILEXPORT, to break down the shockwaves this could send to our export sector, jobs, and the Philippines' position in global trade. Good morning, sir. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning, Mikey. Good morning to our the ones watching us now.
All right. It's an interesting discussion, punctuated by the fact that our president is in the United States now, set to meet with his counterpart, Donald Trump, to talk about this very issue. Let's start with your gut reaction to the 20%. We were bracing for 17. When that 20% figure was announced, what was your initial reaction, sir?
Well, normally, I think the 17% was okay with us, no? Because all our competitors were higher than us. Unfortunately, when the 20% was given to us, an increase of 3%, the highest increase. The others were given 1%, increase were highest. And what is really discouraging is that Vietnam, who coming from 46%, was brought down to the same level as ours, 20%. Yeah. And that will be something that a bad sign, because everybody's negotiating on the side. And what happens if, like Thailand, Malaysia, were able to negotiate, and I don't know what leverage we still have in negotiation.
Yeah.
We've given the U.S. everything. We're the best ally here. I know for a fact that one of the leverage that they will be using is what Trump wanted before. You know, if you watch the interviews of Trump before the election, he was saying, I will shoot sanction even for Russia, because it doesn't work. They just put together people against us. But I will use tariff. So what he did is he weaponized tariff, not necessarily for what people think, balancing trade. No. It is basically geopolitical. And what does he want? In the same breath, he was saying, we would like to preserve the use of the US dollar as the primary currency, because if we lose that, we lost a war. And at the same time, he also was mentioning about BRICS. He doesn't want that. So these are the things that others can offer. No? And what do we have to offer? We have given them everything.
Yes. Speaking of what we can offer, sir, Finance Secretary Ralph Recto says Manila is open to lowering duties on select American products in exchange for lower tariffs. What do you think of this leverage, if you'd even call it that? What do you think of this strategy?
Well, again, our export to the U.S. is so small. I think to the U.S. it is 1/5 of 1%. No? And more than half of that is electronics. So you lower the tariff on what will our other countries say? What will China say? What will they will expect that also from there. So, and I think the ones that you can offer basically will be possibly tariff on agriculture. We cannot afford anymore giving up tariff on agriculture, because we will be inundated by agricultural products from the U.S. And frankly, I would say it might be even passing to the U.S., but not necessarily U.S. products. No? So I think the best negotiating posture we have, and I think the president can handle that very well, is reminding Trump, or the negotiator, what the Philippines is to them strategically in this area of the world, and what we have given them, that we have no negotiating leverage, because we have given them up even before this, and the others are using that now.
Yeah. Sir, let's talk about the first half. In the first half, we didn't see the effects yet. They're set to kick in the second half. How would you describe the first half for this sector? And given everything, the tariff perhaps at 20% set to take effect on August 1st, how's this second half shaping up for the exports sector?
Our export to the U.S. even went up in the first half, a little. We had a survey last May of our exporters, and they say 90% says we're just doing what we're doing in the past without minding the 17%. Because they could adjust prices, they could compete.
It's been business as usual in the first half.
10% says our buyers are worried, they're on hold. So, but that's very small.
Okay. Have you already seen some fallouts? Canceled orders in preparation for the second half? Canceled orders, delays, or maybe even hesitation? How worried is the export sector right now?
Well, in the second half, what we're worrying is the tariff of the other competitors might be lowered. And the ones of Vietnam, even without the lowering of the tariff, we're hardly being able to compete with them. With the same tariff as ours, with the support that they have, which we do not get from the government right now, look, Thailand share in the U.S., Vietnam's share in the U.S. market is 3%. No? Thailand is 1.5%.
of U.S. imports.
Malaysia is 1.5%, and I think Thailand 1%. Ours is 1%.
Yes,
no?
0.2%. Taking a look at that, because you have to take a look at our tariff rate, and you also have to take a look at it in the context of the tariff rates of the others, because these are competitors, sir. When Vietnam, again, accounts for over 3% of U.S. imports, Malaysia and Thailand not too far behind at 0.2%. You know, where did we fall short? What are we doing wrong, and what can we do to get better?
Well, I would like to mention that the glorious days of export are during FBR time.
During the Ramos administration.
Export as the linchpins of economic development. He worked all over the world, marketing. That's the time that we were able to get electronics. We didn't believe that we were able to get electronics. In 1998, at the height of problems, crisis all over the world, our export grew by 21%, if not the highest in the whole world, at least the highest in Asia. And our share of the GDP was 55%, because he supported export and he believed in export. And after that, we're just going down.
We want to bring those times back, sir. What are the immediate and long-term responses we need from this administration in order to bring back the golden days of Philippine export?
Well, number one, of course, goes down to funding, like what anything geared to what our neighbors are giving to the exporting sector in terms of R&D, in terms of other product development, in terms of marketing, in terms of policy, in ease of doing business. I think we can approximate. We were very competitive. We were beating them before. And afterwards, we lost this competitiveness with them.
Are you calling for any specific reforms? Any specific reforms, sir, to pave the way?
We have the export development plan every 3 years. And it's a good plan, but we cannot implement it because, again, there's no funding required. You know, the one expected to push export is basically in the forefront is DTI. DTI is one of the lowest budget.
Yeah. How much funding do you think they'd need to jumpstart our export sector, sir?
Frankly, you give 10% of what we're giving away and look at it as investing in export, we'll probably need less to fund to support that because we'll have jobs, we'll have better jobs for our people.
Yeah.
And it will be sustainable.
So in terms of budget, sir, what's the figure? Can you give a figure? Magkano ho, sir, would you like for the budget to really
I'll give you an example. The last number I saw in the conditional cash transfer before was 87 billion. And I think 15 billion of that is only to monitor. To monitor. No? If you give even just the monitoring money to export development, to DTI, so that they can really improve their postings, I think it will go a long way. And when we go abroad for exhibition, our booths are pathetic. Our booths are pathetic. I mean, we cannot compete. And exporters cannot afford to go because they are not subsidized like what Thailand, Malaysia, and
how can we think? How can we reframe our export strategy in the context of this changing trade or global trade order, sir?
Well, again, as I said, we have the export development plan. We have the strategy. We have the but we don't have the funding.
Implementation and
Implementation
funding.
is a problem.
It's the funding to implement the plans. Okay, so your message to exporters now and your message to the government, sir.
Well, my message to exporters is, I think, is just saying what is obvious. Exporters are trying everything that they do, trying to find new markets, trying to improve their costings. But my main message is to the government: let's take export seriously, and let's see, in the same manner as I would like them to take SME seriously, and really allocate budget and look at it not as an expense but as investment.
Yeah. I'd ask you for your full-year forecast for exports for 2025, but with everything so iffy, we don't know if that 20% is going to stick. What would you like to say as we zoom out and take a look at our export sector more broadly, taking into account the full year 2025?
Well, I hope that the president will be able to persuade Trump and remind him. I think he can. I think he can. He has enough leverage with us being the best ally here in this part of the world, very strategic to them. I think he should be able to remind him that we are special to them.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope that reminder is made and that reminder sticks and strikes a chord with President Trump. Thank you so much for your time this morning, sir. Sergio Ortiz-Luis Jr., the president of the Employers Confederation of the Philippines and PHILEXPORT.